I think I can make this relatively short. At least, like, most likely less than 20 minutes, perhaps. But 20 minutes at most is what I'm looking at. Yeah, I didn't really know how to structure, I guess you could say, this story time. If you wanna, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna include this as a story time. Um, it's just me talking about the 4 years of high school. Um, I guess we can start off with St. Pete High. my I remember my first day going to St. Pete High. I was nervous as hell, as I would imagine most people, just starting up high school. It was the first time I felt that I wasn't, I don't know, free as a as a kid. Like, as in, this was one of the big steps of becoming, older. Like, you're no longer a child anymore, type of thing. Because when I was at middle school at Pinellas Park Middle, I I got away with like so much. I skipped classes and somehow passed like all 3 years of middle school. I'm telling you, like, I can tell you with a straight face, I passed 6th grade and 7th grade on some bullshit. Am I complaining? No, but it's still surprising. And I thought I wasn't gonna get that in high school, which I was right to assume, because my freshman year at St. Pete High, immediately, my teachers were very strict, you know, to a fair extent, I guess you could say. Um, at the time, like the beginning few weeks of freshman year, I only knew two people, and those were my friend Michael and the other Jacob. Well, like, I can say the one thing I miss about, I guess, going to that school was, or not miss, but I guess I have very fond memories of when me and Michael would make the African stories, where I would be the cameraman, kind of like interviewing him in a way, and he would talk in in that accent, and make up all these stories of like his encounters with animals and shit, and it was enjoyable, and it was fun. It was fun to make those videos. But yeah, other than that, the year was kind of meh when it came to school itself. Um, but yeah, my freshman year was actually the first year I came into contact with my very good friend Wyatt. And I'm thankful for that. Actually, I'm thankful that I went to St. Pete High, because originally I was gonna go to Osceola, but that was too far from where I lived at the time, so ended up going to St. Pete High instead. Now move on to my sophomore year. I went to St. Pete for the first couple months, and then, for reasons that I won't share as of right now, at least, probably in the later future I will, we moved from St. Pete to Sarasota. And it took like a good 3-4 weeks for, for me to find a school that was good and close by, and quote unquote good. Um, we looked at Booker High, and it was at the time, a pretty good choice. Uh, Although going to a completely different county and, school, it was pretty nerve-wracking, I will say. I stepped foot in that school for the first time. I don't know when exactly. But I think it was like 3 or 4 months into the school year already. And, I had to go to all my classes that were, classes I've never been to before, and that was the first time, like my first day going to Booker. It was the first time I met my favorite teacher, like teacher of all of my, high school years at Booker High, Miss Simon. She was probably one of the best teachers I've ever had. Second best, my case manager, Miss Johnson, which was in charge of Apex, or not like in charge of Apex, but she taught Apex, I guess. Like, she monitored and helped students that did Apex. So she was an enormous help as well. And yeah, I didn't make too many friends during my sophomore year. I did make a good couple, but not too many. Now, move on to my junior year. My junior year was the one year I'll never forget. And I said this to everybody, and I'll say it again. It's probably gonna it's gonna be stuck in my head as the one year, or at least the one school year, that really, I don't know, it left an impact on me, in a way, I guess you could say. I don't know how else to word that, but first year going in, my bad. I'm not gonna edit this video, so whatever mistakes I make, they're just gonna be in the video. But my first day in my junior year, that's actually when I met a lot of my friends during that year, at least. I started to make a lot more. I got used to the teachers. Both of my relationships took place during that year. It was notification. That's gonna stay in the video too. It was I wouldn't say the greatest experience, but not the worst experience either. I've had a lot of ups and downs, very unforgettable ups and downs. And that was also the year that I was very, how do I say this? I was the most sociable, if that's the right term to use in this context. I was a lot more outgoing, I was talkative, I was talking to more people, making more friends and all that, and it was great. I got to, you know, experience making new friends because I was always used to just the, specific types and amount of friends that I made at St. Pete. And I never really made any new ones in my freshman year or the beginning of my sophomore year when I was still at St. Pete. But I ended up making new and even better friends, honestly. There's this one time that I don't think I mentioned already before. My friend Wyatt, I think like the day before I went to Booker High, he told me that, this is a fresh start for you, Travis. You're turning over a new leaf, You're gonna make lots of friends, new friends. And you know what? I bet you this is gonna be the year where you finally experience, being in a relationship. And he was right. He hit the nail on the head. Okay, maybe not my sophomore year, but no, yeah, he said at the new school. So my general experience being at Booker High, I'm pretty sure he meant that I was going to experience being in a relationship, that I'm going to meet that one person, or more than one, potentially, and it's just gonna be a new experience for you. And he pretty much hit the nail on the head. He's like a fortune teller. But yeah, the first half of my junior year, it was fun-ish, and towards the middle, it started to go a little downhill. I started to get pretty down easily due to reasons that I already talked about. And then the next half of the year, more or less, is when I started to become more happy again, I guess, but filled with more positive emotion. And yeah, there's a lot of experiences that I never experienced before, and it was great. It was amazing. And of course, typical drama with friends and friends, and all that stuff took place as well. But that stuff was a little, to an extent, is pretty trivial. But yeah. Move on to my senior year. Another notification. During my senior year was, let's say the first few months, first 4 or 5 actually, relatively good. Not great, but not bad or mediocre either. I'd say they were pretty good. It was probably on the 5th month that, things started to not look the greatest, or at least that's when stuff just started to become really meh. Not the most, like, not the worst, but not the best either, due to, my most recent breakup, and due to that, I not only secluded myself, but, and, you know, but other people, I guess, just stopped talking to me, and I believe a good chunk of it was due to the breakup, um, because a lot of those people that, I would usually talk to and I thought were quote unquote friends, they were more of just, I don't know, in that friend group that me and Kara were in. So with me out of the picture, I guess they didn't really see the use in talking to me, which is okay, I guess. A little hurtful, but that's just how it is, and I've already come to terms with it. But yeah. And my senior year, I will always remember as the one year that for the first time, I felt actual heartbreak and pain. It was like, I don't think I really expressed this too much in my latest video of, my latest relationship with Kara, but yeah, it was not trying to get into the topic of the relationship itself, but quickly mentioning how I never expected to feel that type of pain, really. I never thought I would even be on the verge of wanting to end the pain in unspeakable ways. I never thought I would get there at any time. How naive of me. I missed 4 weeks of school because I just couldn't get out of bed. I didn't want more, not like, I guess not necessarily I didn't want to, but I guess you could say I just didn't have the will to do anything. I just laid in my bed for hours every day for 2 weeks and just stared at the ceiling. And of course, every now and then, I would get up from the bed. I would get something to eat, at least if I was really hungry, or something to drink, or use the bathroom. But just laid in my bed, just stared at the ceiling, crying for hours. I couldn't handle it, and after said 2 weeks, of course, when I started going back to school and started doing my work and all that, it was still distracting, and it was hard for me to focus in my classes. One of my teachers even thought that I was just slacking on purpose. Little does she know, students, I'm sure she knows, but she didn't act like she took into consideration that, hey, maybe I'm going through some shit, Every now and then when I would be in class, I would find myself venting to a couple of the, people that I associate myself with. And I wouldn't entirely do it on purpose for attention or anything. I don't know, I just wanted somebody to talk to, I guess. And that's where my friend Wyatt came in, and he was a big help. He was, I already mentioned that part in, my, my latest video of my most recent relationship, I already mentioned that he really helped me out and got me through it, and he was there to listen, and you know, I had him to talk to, and I'm grateful. But but yeah, and there's a point where I thought it would never end. Like I thought I would always feel this pain for like a long time. But as the months went by, and by like the fifth or sixth month, I actually kind of got over it in a way where I just wasn't crying every time I would think about her, you know? Even with the things that she gave me as a gift, she gave me a music box and a necklace. I still have both of those, and I will keep them safe. And, you know, I'll make sure to have them for a very long time. Hopefully until the day I die, you know? At the very least. But yeah, when I look at those, instead of reminiscing in a very depressing manner, I just remember the good times and I just accept it for the way it is. I never thought that'd be possible at one point, but here I am. I guess that's something a lot of people don't expect, or people are too naive or stubborn to think that, oh, you know, it's just a girl, you know, there's plenty of fish in the sea, you know? Oh boy, let me tell you, it really doesn't feel like that. When you've attached yourself to that one person for a fairly long time at least, it feels like she's the only fish in the sea, you know? The only fish you could find in the entire ocean. It really feels like that. But, eh. But yeah. After a good 5, 6, or 7 months went by, started to get my stuff together, my grades, because due to those 2 weeks, I fell behind pretty quickly. So, so I had to, do double the work for a good few months, because it would just keep adding on, and it was difficult to get my old work done, and some of it I couldn't even, complete and turn in, because not all of my teachers take in late work, which throughout the rest of, the second half of the year made it really difficult, as you would imagine. Yeah, after a while I managed, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm surprised a little bit, grateful, but a little surprised that I actually pulled it off. I graduated this year, and I'm really happy. I'm happy to have accomplished this milestone in my life, It's one of the first few, early milestones, but still, I think I'm using the term correctly. Yeah. But yeah. My whole entire high school experience was pretty good. It was good in the sense that I've experienced enough to where it has, to an extent, changed my, perspective on people, more or less. It changed my perspective on people, and also the, school, like the entirety of the school system in Florida. That is a whole nother topic, but definitely that too. It's definitely included. Um, and I'll never forget it. My junior year and my senior year, I'll definitely always remember as the two big years of my school life as a whole. And I'm grateful for the experiences, whether they were good or bad. I'm glad I was able to at least have the experiences. But yeah, your boy graduated. Yeah, I guess that's all I can that's all I can really say. Or yeah, I'll see you in the next video.